Hey guys, hey, it's Mr. Lindy here, and wanted to go over something real quick before our little activity that we're going to do today. And I wanted to go over dividing fractions and whole numbers. We're going to first divide whole numbers by fractions, and then we're going to divide fractions by whole numbers. So let's take a look at the first couple, see what we can get. You guys are going to be creating real models out of paper that discuss these. I am going to do it on paper, and when you get yours, you can transfer them, make them so that you can move them around and people can actually touch them and see them in real life. But here's how you would go about solving a problem with these type of division problems. So first you have a 2 and divided by 1/2. And how I look at this one is I ask myself, I say, how many halves go into 2? And really, you notice that I drew 2 little circles over here. We can call them pies or whatever you want to call them. But what we want to do is we want to see how many halves are in 2. So basically, that what it's asking is cut them in half. And then all you have to do there is just count. There's 1 here, 2, 3. Sorry about the writing. I'm writing this with the mouse. And 4. So the answer to this is 4, because there are 4 halves inside of 2. So halves go into 2 holes 4 times. So there you go. So your answer is in the greatest 4 that you've ever seen. Thanks. Okay, here we go. Let's move on to the next one. And it looks like this one's going to be a little more difficult. And I'm going to use a different color pen when we do this one. But what this is saying is how many 3/4 go into 9 holes. So I have 9 pies right here. They're split into fourths. And maybe each person gets 3/4. How many people can get that? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pen. And let's go with, say, green right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to shade in 3/4. Every time I shade in 3/4, we're going to count it, okay? So there's 1/4. There's 2/4. There's 3/4. So that's 1. 1/4. 2/4. 3/4. So that's 2. 1/4. 2/4. 3/4. That's 3. 1/4. 2/4. 3/4. It's 4. 1/4. 2/4. 3/4. It's 5. 1/4. 2/4. 3/4. 6. 1/4. 2/4. 3/4. 7. 1/4 shaded in. 2/4 shaded in. 3/4 shaded in. That's 8. And 1/4 shaded in. 2/4 shaded in. 3/4 shaded in. Now that's 9. Now, when you look at it, that's all fine and dandy, except for every single pie piece has one left over. You can see with my little pen, I'm circling it. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. You can see all the extra fourths that are left over. What we need to do is we can't just get rid of those. Those are worth fourths too. And remember, we're trying to find 3/4. So if I have 1/4 right here, and then there's another fourth right here, and another fourth right here, that tells me I have 3/4 right there. There's actually another one. And then you go on it again, you say, I have 1/4 right here, 1/4 right here, and 1/4 right here. That's another 3/4. And then we finally end it with 1/4 here, 1/4 here, and 1/4 here. So we finally counted all the 3/4 that went up, and we have 12, and our answer is actually 12. Now, we talked about this earlier. I don't have to shade in 3/4 like this and then go to this one and go 3/4 and go to this one and 3/4 and this one and 3/4 and do it that way. You can shade 3/4 at a time. Just each one of these little triangle pieces right there, these little pie pieces, are 1/4. You can do 1, 2, 3 right there, and then start right where my pen is and start your next counting of 3 would be 1, 2, 3, and you can do that all the way through, and you will still get 12. Okay? Next, we're going to talk about fractions divided by whole numbers. Let's talk about this one where it says 1/2, and we're going to divide it by 4. What happens on this one is, say we have a little story and we have 2 people sharing a candy bar. So we're going to cut it into half. And say I'm sharing it with somebody, and then I go home, and then I have to share it with Mrs. Lindy and my 3 kids. My half, I need to share it by cutting it into 4 pieces. Now the question is asking, what is one of these little pieces? So what we have to do is imaginary. Remember, you cannot forget about this little section right here. And all I'm going to do is just act like I'm continuing the lines over. Whoever I was sharing a candy bar with probably ate this piece. But when we're figuring this out, we cannot forget the entire candy bar. So now when I go back and I think about how much does me or one of my kids get, you look at this little piece, and this little piece right here, you can see now that I split the whole candy bar up, is 1/8. So actually this piece right here is 1. Let's see if I can draw this good. 1/8. So there you go. So the answer actually to 1/2 divided by 4 is 1/8. Okay, you can see it. I took the 1/2 right here that I had, and I divided it into 4 equal pieces, and one of those pieces is equal to 1/8. Okay, let's try to move on to the next one. Now this one we have 2/3 divided by 5. This one's a little bit more. So what's going to happen is our candy bar is divided into thirds. And then on 2 of them, 2 out of the 3, 1, 2, I need to divide it into 5 pieces. So let's see if I can do this pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you look at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces on each of those. And what I have to do is I have to tell myself or ask myself how much is 2/3 divided by 5. So there's 2/3 right there. I divided by 5. How much is each of those? So what I get is if I take these, and I remember this piece is already gone because I had 2/3 and then one person got the other one. I'm just making the lines go across so you can see that it continues the whole candy bar. Okay, I get these ones, 2 out of 3. See it? There's 2 out of 3 is how many? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And if you count just those top 2 right there, we get 2 out of 15. Okay, guys, I don't know if this is going to be great or if you're going to need a little help doing it, but this is just a little bit of a visual. Remember, while you're doing this, you are going to have to create a model to explain this. So hopefully this is just a little intro for you. Our little discovery unit is going to help you understand these just by seeing it visually. And I will talk to you later. All right, guys. See you later.